Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dating is Hard podcast. I'm your host, Joe Welke. If you're not familiar with what this podcast is about, it's about relationships, love, dating, sex, all that good stuff. If you want to know more about the show, you go to datingishardcomedy.com, follow the Instagram at datingishardcomedy, and follow me on Instagram at Joe Welke. That's where all the show updates are, and especially about the live show, which is every fourth Wednesday at Pack Theater at 9:30. And Pack is a by-donation theater, so that means if you've got extra money to throw the theater's way, you should totally do it. If you don't, guess what? You can still enjoy all the rad shit that goes on at Pack. If you're not familiar with this show, what happens usually is I have profiles set up on dating apps that ask people to come on and share their craziest dating stories, but we got a little something different today. Today on the podcast, I got my good friend, hilarious comic, Sami Sutker on. She's a frequent debater with me about dating, and we butt heads every once in a while. And I feel like we got a good conversation going about dating. Sammy's got some hilarious and wonderful stories to share with everybody. So please enjoy my chat with Sami. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Dating is Hard podcast. I am your host, Joe Welke, and if you're not sure about what this show is, usually what happens is I have somebody that I've met through a dating app, complete stranger, and I get them on the show, and then we talk about their craziest, wildest experiences through dating apps, and they're just like their dating life in general. That's usually what happens, but today it's going to be a little bit different because I have one of my very good friends here in LA and also a frequent sparring partner in terms of dating debates. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to the Dating is Hard podcast right now, I am so happy to welcome Sami Sutker to the Dating is Hard show. Welcome, Sami.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm so glad my lack of success allows us to have all these conversations.
You're one of the first people to be here with the skateboard on the wall.
I know.
You're the first skateboard witness.
You actually have designed something really cool. I have a skateboard I bought from Target just sitting in my bedroom that I rode one time, and I refused to do it again. It was 5 years ago. I remember buying it because I made a bit about it.
To people listening, I bought a custom skateboard with the Dating is Hard roses and print on it, and it's hanging up right above where I record the show, and I'm so happy and proud about it. I think it's so fucking cool, man.
I do too.
I also...
You're so hardcore about your dating is hard.
About my branding, baby.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Social influencer, what up?
This is the most LA shit ever.
And you have a sticker underneath it, just in case we didn't know.
Oh, that's to cover up the holes from where I fucking drilled and fucked up.
It's even hard putting up your own stuff.
Exactly. So, Sami.
Oh, Joe.
So what, like as I explained earlier, what normally happens is I have people from dating apps. I have profiles that say like, hey, I'm here looking for people to come on a podcast. If you have any interesting, unique stories, come on in and share them. And that's usually what happens.
That sounds probably more interesting than what I will reveal
right
now.
My God, that's not true. Are you on dating apps right now?
No.
I feel like every time I talk to you, it's different. It's like a 50-50 coin flip shot of like, yeah, I got back on them, but I think I'm going to quit. And then you're like...
It's because it bums me out. It's such an exhausting process. Because it's just because you're talking to air and you're having the same generic conversations. And when I do go on a date, I now have my bullet points just... This is what is going to make me sound interesting, but I believe it. But now I'm bored with what I'm saying in my representation of myself.
Yeah, it's like a script that you just are constantly.
And now I'm going to tell you what books I read about water.
About water?
Oh, yeah, dude. I got into a real... Because I'm into reading again. It's a thing I'm doing now.
Finally back into reading.
Children's books, but still, they're books.
Pictures.
But books about, like, basic things like water... Right now I'm reading Stephen King's book about writing, and I'm still on the memoir part, so I am not even on page 100.
Dude, me and my friend Paul Schisler. Did you meet Paul when he was out here?
He's the
Christian blonde guy?
Yeah. With the baby.
Yeah. He's so good. Shout out Paul Schisler. Everybody go follow Paul Schisler on social media.
He was really funny.
He's hilarious. But he recommended a book to me. It's called like The Artist's Way or something. And it's supposed to be like help you be more creative or something. And he's like, let's read it together and we're going to hold each other accountable. And I read like the first chapter and it's just been sitting on my coffee table.
Yeah. I just spent $7 in late fees for the library, and I renewed the books like 3 times. Then I got missed a book that I had on hold for about 4 months, and I was so mad and I complained to them. I'm like, it's a little weird. I never got a phone call about it. I probably did, but thought it was late fees. And then so I made them give me my $1 back, and I was like, but now do I have to wait another 3-4 months? I just buy the book, but. You know, I don't want to keep stuff. I have books that I have in my shelves that I've never read.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I'm always like, I'm going to get to it.
But it makes me, they're all about writing and plays, things I don't do. So I'm full of
this is what you're revealing on first dates?
Yeah, honestly, I'm at the
I'm
point
a failed playwright and I can't read and don't read.
There's just so many bad questions that people ask.
Like what?
The first one is, I don't know, like one of the ones that they ask is about what I thought about them on social media, and I was like, obviously.
People really ask that?
Yes, guys are very insecure. And then they'll ask like, why did you choose my pictures? And or I know if someone's younger than me, they're like, are you okay with that? I'm like, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be swiping in your direction.
Yeah.
Like, duh. Like, we're adults. Well, it's not like I'm like trying to swipe on a 22-year-old. Like, are you okay with that? No, I wouldn't be okay with that. You're 34.
Well, you have age parameters on apps too.
Yeah, it's just a dumb question.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people don't know. And then they ask about like, why did you break up with the last person? I'm like, I just met you.
Dude, I never ask these people these questions.
Well, I go on not successful dates. Does not lead to relationships, Joe. So, it's fun inquiries about your insecurities right out the gate. And it's just like, can we, like, that is like, maybe if I actually decide I like you, you can ask these deeper questions. But they're not even deep. They're just it's just so insecure.
Though that's also like heavy shit to bring up on a first date. It's like, I just met you, and it's like, so what went wrong with your last relationship?
Why are you messed up?
Yeah.
And then it's a cheat sheet, and I'm like, you don't get that yet. Also, I don't want to bomb through negativity and then trying to be positive, or they can uplift, or it just everything most guys say to me, I'm just like, you're a cornball, and like I sound
super
tired.
cliche.
It's also after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's also 10:30 when we're recording this, and we ate a bunch of pizza.
And I had a lot of, and cookies. But anyways, I'm just a little, I don't know. It's just it's rough. And now I'm fine with. I haven't gone on a date with a guy knowingly in his 40s yet, but they're still really lame at the internet too. Not all of them, obviously the younger ones, but like young 40s. I don't know what I'm saying.
Early 40s.
Early 40s.
Baby 40s.
Baby 40s. Within 5 years of me. It's just exhausting. Even if like there was a guy who was talking, it was just like, I don't want to be talking to somebody for 3 weeks and then they're not asking me out for a date. Because that's weird. I've tried doing the whole, okay, let's meet immediately type of thing, like this weekend, and then sometimes I get shied off of that or whatever, or if I talk to somebody and I give them I usually say like, oh, I'm going to quit this, I'm going to kick myself off this app, here's my number, and then they will do nothing with it.
Yeah, and I do that all the time where it's like, hey, I give them a day. I say, hey, at the end of the day today, I'm deleting this app. Here's my number. If you want to keep chatting, text me. I've never once gotten a text from that message where I'm like, hey, I'm getting off this app. I'm done with it, but I would like to continue talking to you.
I do feel weird when they give me their number and then they want me to reach out. Like, I don't know. I still have, like, even if it's a Bumble app or whatever, I still want the guy to take the lead.
To be like, hey, can I have your number?
Yeah, and even if I have my corny opener or whatever, I'm copying and pasting like crazy. Some of them will knock what I'm saying. I'm like, sometimes I will literally write, does it matter? Like, it's just me saying, because hello is too generic. It's just something to say, you know? It's just like, it doesn't matter what I'm saying.
Well, what's your usual opener? What are you saying?
I don't know.
What are you sending
I
to
haven't
people?
been on it in a couple weeks, and I just usually copy and paste what it is last time. So, I don't remember. It's nothing. Sometimes it'll be like a fun fact that's quirky.
Yeah.
You know, or something, trying to, like, a crack a joke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say whatever a lot, but, because, like, I don't want to remember what my pickup lines are. And these are all things I'm never will be a person who will be, in person, hitting on a guy. Like, I will never be that person. I wish I could do that.
Why not? What do you...
I don't know how to do that. I'm bad at flirting
How
already.
How to approach a guy or to just hit on a guy in general?
I just am not forward enough.
Yeah?
I don't know, because it takes me a while. I'm just at the point where I'm just kind of, I just assume someone's just being nice. Like, I used to be way more naive if someone liked me, but now I just kind of, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
It's interesting.
I have a strong personality, but I'm very shy when it comes to dudes.
It's interesting to hear you say that, like, you always assume that they're just being nice, because whenever a woman is complaining about a guy hitting on them, it's always like, oh, I'm just being nice, I'm not flirting with you. So it's weird to hear, like, a woman say that, you know?
Yeah. Well, everything I say is weird. It's, like, they'll say weird things. Like, one guy's like, oh, you don't have your ears pierced? I'm like, I did when I was a kid. You're like, I've never seen a woman who's done that before. And it's just, like, things like that. I get comments. The last couple of guys I went on dates with, they told me I look much better in person, which I don't know if it's a compliment or not.
People always say that to me, too.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't say I was photogenic. That's why those are the pictures I chose. Duh. I'm supposed to give you the better angles.
Yeah, I'm showing you my best self right now.
Yeah, I'm giving you very limited filters right now.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably better that... Would you rather be better looking in person or better looking in pictures?
I mean, apparently I've shown a female friend who's a little younger than me, and she's like, I never get this many matches. So I get a good amount of matches, but it doesn't mean anything most of the matches. So I don't know. I'm still able to get some pull. That's not answering your question, but
no, that's fine.
But, like, I don't know. I think, obviously, being seen more attractive in person is better. But, I mean, of course you want to look good in photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want to reflect back on your time. But I don't really have a lot of photos, and I'm very not big on selfies.
You're also not big on, like, social media either.
No.
Yeah.
No. I get really disgusted when I see just people, like, just even celebrities, if I go, and they're just them.
Yeah.
It's just one picture of them. The whole thing. It's just gross to me. I don't know. I mean, I probably want to be with someone who's not big on social media.
All of my, like, most successful relationships have been with people that aren't big on social media. Like, everybody that I've dated for more than, like, 6 months has been somebody that's like, I don't pay attention to social media and I'm not on it. It's like, okay.
Well, I have a theory about this. You ever see somebody who was in a relationship, then they break up, and then all of a sudden they're way so much on social media? Because all that energy that they had to share to somebody is just replaced on social media.
Well, then it's also like trying to show you, like, oh, look how good I'm doing to your exes. Like, there's some
I guess.
of that.
I don't even think that way. But to me, it's just more of like, I'm overcompensating with, I need to have attention and emotional support sometimes.
Yeah, that's also kind of like the people that go through breakup and then they get a new haircut or whatever. They dye their hair and they're like, I just need a change or something.
Yeah.
Maybe the change is like,
Just
I'm
very
going to be on social media.
performative, and that's super unattractive to me.
Yeah.
Guys, when I'm talking to them and I haven't met them, they want, like, a picture of me. And not even I guess maybe a sexual, I don't know. I don't care. But, like, I'm not going to give you a selfie at 10 o'clock at night when I'm tired and I've worked all day. I'm not going to do that. The lighting's terrible. I just don't want to do that. I
just recently got into an argument with a girl that I matched with on a dating app. Like, that was, like, wanting to date. And she asked for a picture of me, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I sent one, and then I was like, well, you gonna send one of you? And she was like, no. And I think it's kind of like fucked up that you asked me to do that. And she was like, it just makes me uncomfortable.
Because you just realized she's cuckoo.
Yeah, but I was like, I mean, I just sent one to you, and she was like, yeah, but I don't know you like that, and it's just because you sent one to me doesn't mean. And
but
I was
she
like,
asked.
I'm done, dude.
But she asked you. That's the thing. There was a guy. He was just. one of the questions some of these guys will ask is, what are you looking for? And I tell them, like, I don't really know, but I mean, I would like to have something meaningful. You know, I'm not going to force having a relationship. I'm very good at being single. So I'm very, like, that's kind of what I am all the time. But I can't even be like, no, it's very single. And so, like, I don't mind. Like, I'll date people here and there, and I'll date somebody for a few months, and then it doesn't really move out of that stage. So,
yeah.
But, like, I don't really have the energy to, it's not me pushing people away, but, like, I haven't met you. I don't need to send you pictures. But also, I sort of understand, like, I try to understand the person's perspective of what they're asking, because I don't think this, I'm like, okay, well, what are you looking for? If you're looking for a hookup, this is what it is. Like, I'm not on Tinder, because to me, that is pretty much all what that site is. But some people view all of them as the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. There's no difference. I'm just disgusted that I've been on as many as I have been.
Many apps or dates?
Yeah, many apps. And that's how I've gotten, like, all my dates as an adult.
Really?
My 30s. Yeah. Because I never used apps in my 20s.
Well, you also, like, don't approach people in person.
Well, my social
I'm sure that
circle,
people will approach you in person, though.
I don't go anywhere where they're going to approach.
That's true. We just go to open mics.
Go to open mics, or I'm hanging out with people I already know. I'm not going to those parties like I used to go to all the time. And if I do, there's, like, people in their 30s and early 40s that are, like, in long-term relationships, which is, like, whatever. I mean, being the third, 15th wheel is fine. but like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna meet a single person here. A single person. I'm
not going to meet
people.
One single person.
Yeah, and if I do, it's
but
just
Sammy,
awkward.
there's 100 people at this party. I'm not going to meet any of them.
Yeah. And if I do, it's just the hardest part, I would say, for dating in your, I guess, late 30s is not being bitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and I think a lot of times when we get into arguments, I need to step back and realize see it through your eyes, because you've been on so many more, like, dates.
No, you go on more dates. You are multiple dating people. You are way better at it. If you wanted to lock down a girl, you could, but you're just always like, what else is out there?
But yeah, I could see how, like, after a while, you just have been burned so many times that it's just like, oh, I know what this is. I've seen this before, and you're just like, well, shut it down. I'm just smarter
about it and just efficient with my time. I just don't have time to be like, do I like this guy? Because I want to care about somebody, and that's usually what I write to somebody when they're like, what are you looking for? I'm like, I want to care about somebody.
Yeah.
And somebody who's worth, like, involving in my life. But I'm trying really hard not to be super, like, high maintenance of my demands or pickiness, which you always say I'm picky. I'm like, well, I guess, but
well, it's because every time I hear you, like, go on a date, you're like, it sucked. Like, every
time. That's not true.
I've never heard you excited about dating a person.
Because there's not a lot of people for me to get excited about, like, immediately, and it's hard for me to get a crush on somebody, and so I want to have a crush on somebody, and I want to not feel forced. I definitely rather meet somebody in a more non-contrived way, in a natural way. But even if I do, like, I've had a crush on somebody, and then I actually do get to go on a date with them, and then whatever, we kind of, like, fool around a little bit, and then the next date they're like, my roommate's out of town, and I was like, well, now I'm uncomfortable. Because you know, now I don't think you really like me, and if you do, you like me more for one thing first versus knowing me, and I'm never in an alignment, it feels like, with what I want. And when I do try to, like, okay, just have fun, just be in the moment, zen or whatever, then it's like with a moron that can't have a full sentence or thought, and or some, I don't know. The one guy was like, I'm so nervous, I'm just nervous, and and it was like, it's because you're a bartender who doesn't have their shit together. Yeah. And it's not to say all bartenders don't have their shit together. This particular bartender said he was going to think about going to law school, but his brain was, when he said words, were not a full sentence. Like what I'm doing right now was just nonstop. It was just so bad. Yeah, I mean, I want to be amped about a person.
Well, a lot of the times when I
get along with a lot of people, but when I'm looking for someone for a relationship, I have a higher criteria.
Well, yeah, and you should. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like a lot of people should. Like, you don't want to just date anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been rare the time. Like, even people that you've gone out with on multiple dates or multiple occasions, when I talk to you about them, it's like, you're like, yeah, we've gone out for like 2 months, but like, I don't know.
But that's the thing. That's the problem. Is that I'm not 100% sure I'm into them.
Yeah.
And that is a problem for me because I'm just going, it's a mind fuck because I'm like, am I expecting, I'm not even expecting major fireworks or anything. I'm just, there's just so many awkward guys and I'm awkward too. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you watch
we're
me
all
somebody,
awkward.
Yes, but it's just, the last guy that I actually dated on our first date, I enjoyed talking to him. Like, he apologized when someone was calling. He needed to excuse himself to go on the date. Like, he wasn't on his phone. Like, he apologized, and he seemed actually engaged in having a conversation. I was like, wow, this is nice. Mm-hmm. Like, talking to a person and, like, just no rush and didn't seem anything. But towards the end of the date, he goes, so now the awkward part. And I was like, ugh.
What was the awkward part?
He was inferring, like, do I kiss or not kiss? And I'm like, I don't even want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just, it's little things like that where I'm like, I was like, well, whatever, he's nervous. He said he hadn't dated in a while, whatever. I don't like being the pro dater. It's just, I don't know. It's just, one date I went on, this was years ago, when I was new to the online dating game. So, like, last decade.
Dude, same. I started doing online dating when I was, like, 19.
Yeah, that's weird to me, too.
Yeah.
Because my niece, she was on Tinder for a while, which is gross to say. But she's 20. And I found out through my mom that she was on Tinder. And I was like, she's in college. Like, this is...
That's when you should be meeting
the
people.
The most amount of people.
Yeah, you're
making all the mistakes now.
You're living in real life Tinder.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need it, but
it was such a bummer to hear. I was like, oh, you have the rest of your life to compromise. And my brother was telling me, and this sounds weird through this many iterations, like, she's jealous of not her brother, but like that she would like to date someone like her brother in terms, not her brother, but like the qualities that her brother possesses. And I was like, I get that, because he's with his high school sweetheart. He's 20 and she just graduated. I mean, who knows where that relationship will go, but like, it's just one of those things where you're like, yeah, he's like a good, even keel kid, and like he's like wants to be you know what I mean? Like he just wants to be a good guy.
He's a regular good dude.
Yeah. And I don't know, we also live in Los Angeles, so it's a little bit of a different dating scene. Not to say I had much success in the Midwest, but I think if I was me now, and I am me now, but like if I were living elsewhere, my ego says I would have a little bit better success.
Yeah, because there's people that are out here that like are on dating apps just for Instagram followers, and then there's stories,
or
and
they just need to have attention to feel it. Like
having a podcast.
Yeah, but you're finding people to see what their experiences are. But I mean, everyone has a different experience. I mean, your roommate is successful from online dating.
Yep. Tiff Myers, shout out to Tiff.
But I mean, there's other people. I've met people who. Or I'm friends with other people who married significant others. Like, one of my old roommates is engaged now to her Tinder date, Yeah. And it does work for people. It's just, it's a numbers game, and I don't know how many I can't count that high, And I feel like I have to learn math. And I don't like
seriously,
it.
fuck math.
Yeah, math is hard. As well as dating.
This is now the math is hard, bro.
Yeah.
No, but I also feel like it's just a different breed of people out here. Mm-hmm. And then there's always, that's the cliche that everyone out here is always like, oh, there's somebody better. There's something better just right around the corner. And so you don't have the patience to even like see if it works out with somebody. And it is a numbers game. But at a certain point, your numbers game doesn't match with another person's numbers game.
I'm just looking at like who's gonna get on my nerves the most, but also someone who I like the most. Like that's my favorite person to kind of get on my last nerve. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know that I heard myself say it. I'm like, I'm not negative. I swear. I just
am looking for someone that won't get on my nerves horrifically.
Well, someone who what they do to get on my nerves is reasonable. It's not like they're anchoring me and telling me I'm a loser or all this other doesn't make me feel less.
Yeah.
Like they want to build me up or be supportive, emotional or not, or like be patient with me, And obviously vice versa. I would like to be somebody who helps bring out their better qualities, or you want to do better so you're with somebody. But I don't know, there's also people who are hot messes who are constantly, immediately when they're out of a relationship, they're in a new relationship, and I'm like, I don't have that magic. I don't have that quality. I don't know, like I get told I'm not easy to read. I'm like, well, I'm a pretty blunt person, so I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, you're like one of my most blunt friends. Like I pretty much always know where you stand on things. Where you're just like, no, I don't like this person. There's why, and then you list all the reasons. I'm like, oh, there's a logical, sound argument there.
Usually, I mean, you can easily sway it.
Everybody. It's time for the only recurring segment of this podcast. It is time for the Atif interruption. Atif Myers,
Yay.
Great comedian, roommate, best friend. What is your one question that you are going to ask Sami Sutker?
Sammy, what's your least favorite trait in a man?
Least favorite trait in a man.
I know this is going to be funny.
Oh my god.
There's just so many. She hates men.
I don't hate men. I love men. I just hate when they're wimpy.
See?
Hates wimpy guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want an emotionally strong dude.
Yeah.
Not somebody who's just gonna sulk in their own sulkiness and drag it. Like I can't deal with people who just wade in negativity. And I know I sound negative. It's so annoying.
No,
I would love to sound so positive. Like all this seemingly negative energy, I would love to transfer it into like I'm really into somebody and I'm not.
I don't think that you sound negative. No. I just feel like you sound like you've been through a lot.
I guess. I mean, my last date, the guy was drunk when I arrived and introduced me to somebody else who was his friend that was married and Australian and hotter than him. And then said I was like, oh, I was thinking this guy's gonna go away, and we sat at the bar and he was drunk the whole time saying racist things on TV, and then he was
wait, what was he saying?
Baseball players. He was saying,
so Latinos.
Latinos and bartenders. He's like, that guy looks like that guy. And then he was talking about how like he's gonna be an actor, and like he should be in TV shows and movies, and then he showed me like a movie on his phone, and like it was so absurd. I just was, and I was mad at him. I'm like, why are you still here? I'm like, because you're hungry and you wanted to be at this bar, and you're gonna pay for yourself, and then you're gonna walk away. I think about what you say when you were on dates or were on dates, and you'd be like, this isn't gonna work. I wanted this. I wanted.
You want to just end this?
Yeah, like you want to just and. Oh, God, I was so hungry, and it took so long to get my food. This guy was horrible.
How did you meet him?
That's the best Atif interruption.
Yeah, that was the best. Yeah, usually Atif will, like a couple of Atif interruptions ago, he asked the girls, like, what's your favorite pasta? And they were so taken aback because we were, like, talking. I think they were talking about, like.
Spaghetti is my go-to.
Well, spaghetti's classic.
It's classic. Yeah.
But these girls, they were talking about, like, selling foot pictures to people and like dating NFL players and shit. And then
that's not the level I'm at.
And then Atif came out and he was like, "What's your favorite type of pasta?"
No, because you're more interesting.
Thank you.
Atif Myers shitting on some former guests.
Oh yeah, fuck him. I'll fight any of them.
Everybody, add Atif Myers. But. Then they were just like, I don't know. There's rigatoni, there's fettuccine.
I also can't pronounce most pastas.
Well, they were just like listing pastas. Like, he didn't ask you to list every pasta you know. Just name one that's your favorite.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Macaroni.
See, they're indecisive.
How did you meet this guy that brought his Australian friend?
Oh, God. And then I talked to him about netball.
Netball?
It's an Australian basketball-volleyball combination that led to the invention of basketball. But yeah, that was
that a
really
Bumble date?
No, a Hinge date.
Hinge,
Yeah,
my favorite.
we had a good rapport talking, and then I just couldn't. I was so mad. I like texted my friends, I texted my roommate, and I was like, he brought somebody else on the date. Like I never had that happen because you're not prepared for that. And I was like, I was so baffled, and I just was like, I don't, what?
Yeah.
I went to the bath. He's like, I have a feeling this isn't going well. I'm like, oh, it's not. Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. And
You straight up told him that it's not going well?
Yeah. And this is the crazy stuff. He texted me, like, even though we're not hooking up, we could still be friends. Like, I liked you hanging out with you. And he texted me again and again. And I was like, I paid for my own meal. He even commented how I paid for more than he did. He's like, I've never seen that before. I was like, because you're a horrible date. He told me you lost your job. You were arrested 10 years ago. Like,
what was he arrested for?
You're probably drinking.
Like
I don't
a
know.
DUI or something?
Yeah, something. It was just like, why would you tell somebody? I mean, a great honesty that you have a past, but
yeah, that's not first date
so
material.
Much. It was so much.
That's like months in, be like, hey, yeah, I've had
Even if
a
it was
DUI
10
or
years
whatever.
ago, like, I don't care. But yeah, it was just.
This is your first impression.
It was the worst first impression.
And
I've
then he
ever been
brought
on.
a friend. Who does
He's
that?
like, well, I got here early, and just in case this sucked, and he's always been telling me about this bar, and I was like, well, that's still weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Have you gone on a date and then there was another person there that's married sitting at the bar with you, and then he's talking to you, and then you're talking to this buddy, then talking to you, and then we're all talking. I was like, if you want to hang out with your buddy, you should just hung out with your buddy. And then he was also, because he was looking for work, he was an actor. There was too many things where I knew better, but I was like, he was kind of interesting talking to him.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was talking to a complete stoner, drunk, and I was always sober talking to him. And I was like, that's great. And he was age appropriate. And he goes, oh, you're better to talk to because you're like around my age. Normally like 10 years younger girl. And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm going to have more things to talk about than a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Also,
you're going to be able to relate.
I also can cut through your bullshit. Like, I mean,
I've been around this block before, buddy.
As soon as he introduced me to somebody, I should have been like, yeah, no, and then skirted around. But I wanted fish tacos so bad. And they weren't that good.
No.
I spent like $60 to just be disappointed that night.
Disappointed all around, too.
Yeah,
like, the date was bad. The fish tacos were bad.
I got Kobe beef donuts and fish tacos and 2 beers. And
Kobe beef donuts?
Yeah, it's great. It's like donut holes filled with Kobe beef and cheese and stuff. It's really good.
Where was this?
In Sherman Oaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's a
crazy.
Boneyard Bistro. But it was a dead place. This place is like, oh, I'm like, you suggested this restaurant. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm here for the food. You're ancillary at this point.
You're the least of my concerns right now. I want these fucking fish tacos, bucko.
Yeah. And I want to never see or talk to you ever again.
So what do you typically look for in a guy?
I should have done better. After that, I haven't gone on a date since. Because there was a date before, the week before that. It was just another, it was a fine date, but...
No feeling?
He wasn't as cute as I thought he was going to be from his photos, which is whatever. He was nice. He seemed genuine. He asked very pedestrian type of questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I don't know. I mean, you do stand-up, I do stand-up, and I'm not saying stand-ups are superior in their conversation skills. I'm not saying we're more interesting people. It's just we just cut through the fat of getting to know somebody a little bit. There's a better connect. We speak a different language.
Yeah.
And I also forget how to speak like a normal person most of the time. What are normal questions to ask? Things where I'm like, this is not information you really need to know. It's boring. Kind of like what I'm talking about right now. So
No, this is...
So you're saying, like, this is kind of boring. Like, I don't know. It just... I grew up in a large suburb outside of a city, but my family now lives in a more rural area. There's different ways that people converse with each other, and it just... Yeah, and I also work in entertainment, not to boost myself and my ego, but
A little humble brag, a little flex right now.
But I just talk to people, not saying they're more sophisticated in conversation, because I said like and whatever about 80 times already. It's just, there's a different way of communicating that happens.
Yeah.
And I really wish that I'm able to go back and forth between them. And anyways, he was asking really dull questions and also wanting me to know about his history. I just repeated some of his questions to him, and like, well, when was your last relationship? It was just very, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm awesome, okay? I don't know what's wrong with the way I connect with people, but I know I'm pretty much awesome. I'm sure you're awesome in your own way. I haven't figured out if we're the right wavelength yet.
Yeah.
But like asking about my dating history, which mine isn't very successful, is not my favorite thing to talk about when I'm meeting somebody for the first time. I rather try to be like, what books are you reading? Or like, he was asking me what other guys on dating apps were like. I'm like, why is this a necessary thing for you to know? Like, this is a regular platform. Or if I was dating, I'm like, what was your dating experience like on online dating? I don't want to talk about other dudes when I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
That's where I have a hard time having conversations with people at times, because I'm like, let's push the story forward. Let's not go in directions that are unnecessary. Let's cut the fat of the garbage. What makes you you? What do you like to do? How do you like to exist? Like, what is your world? Why do you travel a lot? I don't travel a lot. I kind of want to. Like, are you an active person? Like, what are your interests? What type of music? He liked EDM, which is another sign. Just bad choices. Comic books, bad. It's just into like tabletop games, and I've been dating nerds, and I'm trying really hard to enjoy them as people. I'm not. I'm a jock. I'm too much of a bro for these guys. So
Tomboy.
Yeah, that's my least favorite term, but yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not like not encompassing the definition of that. But yeah, I'm a guy's girl, and I'm a girl's girl too. I'm not a girly girl, but yeah. I just heard myself talk so much about myself. I'm awesome!
This is what it is.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting through some shit.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you for the free therapy session.
Hey, man, if I can help you at all in really one single way, that'd be great. But
well, I mean, I'm sure I have my big
about.
flaws, and I have my intimate issues and all this other garbage, but it's just, I just don't want to expose my vulnerabilities to a stranger.
Well, that's the thing, is that especially on a first date, you're supposed to be bringing your best self to it, because that's like hey, this is my first impression. This is like,
I want to see what you're enthusiastic about, and I don't want to complain about things. And even when we tease people, like we went rock climbing, that was a cool first date, right? Yeah. And then he seemed to be in no rush. He had his own business, and he was a partner in his own business. I'm like, oh, this is an adult. Like, I don't have to feel bad if we're going out to eat $50. And I'm not saying I don't have standards. I do, but like, I'm just saying, like, he spent a good portion of money today on a stranger that he like was swiping with. That was generous, and I was appreciative of that. Mm-hmm. But before we went on a date, he was asking about like having we give him a photo for a contact photo. I'm like, but you could see it from the dating app what I look like, or you could screenshot it, or whatever it is. But when guys keep on asking for contact photos, it's just I don't want to placate that way. Like, it's just weird. Even when I'm dating someone, I'm like, they're like, can I have a photo of you? It feels weird. And I know that it's not weird for the majority of people, and I don't know if it's like people under 35, that's just how they communicate. But it is so weird to me. Like, you don't need my photo to talk to me. You met me. Do you not remember what I look like? You were sober.
I don't know. I always just, when I'm on dating apps to date, if I get the number, I'll just take screenshot one of the... So
you have like a recognition. Well, you date multiple people.
Okay, stop harping on
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying that's one way for a mnemonic device of association. Yeah. For me, I take like a phrase of what we talked about or a subject, and I associate it to the name. So that way, this is blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, the skateboard guy would be you or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's just something to trigger who you are for connectivity. But some people just go on dating apps just because they're bored, and I do it. And also, I think being on social media, it really bums me out in general, and it adds a lot of noise. So I don't want to be on it that much. And I don't know. It's just, I really wish I was out of this chapter.
Yeah, it's all kind of a bummer, especially when, you're just going on so many dates with people and you don't know who's who, and you're like, oh, there's promise here, but like that's how I get trapped dating lot of people at once, where it's like, well, there's promise here. It's just you got to figure out like the bullshit and like the hierarchy and triage who's like should be on top. You know what I mean? And then I just keep going and going, and then I end up like.
Well, I also waste so much time.
Yeah.
It's just like, I've been swiping. I'll swipe at work, or I'll talk to people at work. And if someone I'm actually interested in, like, that sounds really cool. Like, one guy I was talking to, he was into ultra running, and I never knew about it. And I was slow at work, and I just dove into learning about ultra runners and watching ultra runner documentaries. Not to say I'm going to study for this guy. It was more like, I didn't even know this thing existed, and it's very fascinating. I was like, this guy's into something very few people are aware of, and also it takes a lot of determination and whatever. It would have been cool to have met him. I don't know if there's a connection, but I was like, that would be somebody different than who I've encountered before. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. And then some people who want photos, they're like, oh, just in case I'm being catfished. I'm like, do you think these photos and this tier, if what I'm looking at, like you're looking at, is what I'm going to catfish with you?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous to me. I'm like, you have to have a little faith in people. Oh, some people don't look what they look like. Yeah, one guy, he was a bigger guy. He was newer to LA. And when I saw him, and he already told me he only had like an hour because he had to go meet some friends afterwards. And I was like, well, why do you want to reschedule? And he's like, no. And then when I saw him walking towards me, he was waddling. And I was like, no.
You can't be waddling to the date, bro.
I can't be dating with Mother Goose. You know, like, I don't want to be snobby, but I want to be with somebody who is fit or active, because I like to work out and I like to pig out, and so I don't want to be with someone who I will always be pigging out with.
Yeah, because
I want to do activities or dates where we do that, or we go to the gym together. Like, that's fun stuff for me. So, anyways, it's not like I'm friends with overweight people. I'm not anti-fat.
Well, then,
but it's just, I know for me, it's important to be with somebody who wants to cook healthy meals and who wants to exercise. And he was having this whole transform. Also, he started the date saying that he looked me up, like he did a background check on me. And he's like, well, I work in security. I'm like, he's like, it's not that hard to figure out because, your phone number was easy to find. Once I like Googled it, I found this, and then I watched your sets and I was like, turn off.
Yeah.
Then telling me you were raised in a cult and that you were divorced and I was like, this is an hour? Okay, cool. I'm going to get a burrito after this, because this is a burrito deserving evening.
Well, to go along with like you wanting to be like be with a fit, active person, if you're going out with somebody that doesn't value that, then you're going to fall into their lifestyle too, and a little bit of them is going to rub off on you, and you'd like to think that a little bit of you. It's a common
value.
Yeah.
For me, like, I had health issues in my 20s, and as I get older, I'm still going to have health issues. I'm noticing that if I have certain types of foods, like, my body doesn't recover the same way. And so I would like to be kind of on the same path. Now, also, you've heard me talk about, like, guys I've gone on dates with who, like, are sober and also vegetarian. And I was like, I don't know if I could do both of those things. Like,
yeah, that was like my favorite. You're like, you got to pick one. Yeah. You can't be both.
Yeah, because the other thing is, like, where they want it is just like I guess they'll overcompensate with having sex, like, which is not necessarily the worst thing, but I also kind of, to me, food is like a way that I can show that I care about you, or like buying you a beer is like a way, like, we're gonna relax and chill and hang out today type of thing.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's just. Or if someone I get along with, and then they're just really a bad kisser for the best way of putting that. And it's just so disappointing.
See, I talk about that a lot on here, is people that are bad kissers. It's like, how did you get through life?
Because they've kissed other people who have the same level of kissing.
See, yeah, I
don't know. I just watch, what's that movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair? Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Just watch that movie. You'll learn how to kiss.
Yeah.
Move your tongue.
Have you ever... See,
One guy was, like, kissing, like, a goldfish. And I was like... And then my idea was, well, if I have sex with him, maybe it'll get better. And then he just made full-on eye contact with me. And then I was like... This is terrible, and I pretended that I had, like, my stomach was bothering me, and I pretended I was in the bathroom for, like, 20 minutes. Just pretending I had...
Just, like, making fart noises with your mouth, like, oh, no,
oh,
sorry, I
my
can't.
Stomach's still bothering me. Must have been something I ate. I was like, this is just getting worse.
Yeah, there have been multiple girls where I've kissed them, and it's just all lip kissing, no tongue, and it's like, who...
What are you, in the movie right now?
It's like, who taught you this? You're 27 and you're still kissing like this? Like, who? Or just like the same move over and over again, where it's like,
like the ice cream?
Like licking tongues. It's like, there's got to be some variety.
Massage.
There's got to be some kind of like passion and like.
I mean, I don't look cool when I'm kissing somebody, but I know it doesn't matter because it's gonna feel good.
Yeah, it's
least
jazz.
Yeah.
You have to like be able to like move with the flow and stuff. But if you're just like lip kissing, just pressing lips against each other, it's like, what are you, my fucking grandma or some shit? It's just weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird because you think that everybody.
Well, I'm sure someone's thought she's a bad kisser.
That's
You know, that might have happened, but. Also, I probably thought they weren't a good kisser, too.
What percentage of the population do you think is probably a good kisser? I'm going to say like 78% of people are good kissers and know how to kiss. So it's shocking when you meet that other 22%.
Yeah, it's more math. But,
yeah, how slow I was like,
I know.
22.
I think the better question is who looks good kissing versus who doesn't look good kissing. But it's obviously the important fact is who's actually good at kissing. There's been also people, the first time you kiss them, you're like, this isn't great, but it's okay. And then if you kiss them again, it's a little bit better.
You know what fucks me up with kissing is, so I have daily contact lenses, and if you close your eyes for too long, they get really dry and shit. And so sometimes I have to like open my eyes while kissing, which is always the worst move.
Yeah.
But otherwise my contacts will like fall out or something. I won't be able to see.
As long as the other person's eyes aren't open when your eyes.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, hopefully.
I'm sure people are like, are they still into this? And someone's like, like zombied it. I'm good at this. Which you can't see.
Paralysis face.
Yeah.
Half paralyzed on the face.
Yeah. You're Stephen Hawking's it. You're just ready to blow into that, like, his little thing, like, noise is coming.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's flavors for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's also, like, there have been people that are good kissers and they're just bad at sex. There's people that are bad kissers that are good at sex. It's just, oh my God.
So many combinations for natural chemistry.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ugh. So what makes a guy on a dating app? What makes you swipe right on a guy? What's something that, like, what are the things that you look for? You're like, this looks like it could be a potential
I actually
thing.
read their profiles.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if this guy's attracted to me. Probably not. Also, okay, I don't know what your fan base is, but if they're not in Los Angeles, it's just there's so many people here that work in PR and advertising and TV and social media that they know how to promote themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. If there's a lot of headshots, a lot of... I know the type of tier guy that I'm probably going to be drawn to is not going to be the guy who's going to be with all of his bros and his, like, button-downs, club... So that's not going to be a guy I'm going to be attracted to. I am trying to go for a higher tier guy, which I know, like, I don't mind if I had to change a little bit to be more feminine, because I don't mind that. But I'm not gonna make the effort. Like, actually, when I do date someone, I do feel that I make a better effort of being more feminine.
What do you mean?
Because I want to dress better. I want to, like, be done being single so I can lasso this one in. But also, it's just, I do realize, like, as much as the guy likes a girl in, like, jeans and a t-shirt, he does want to feel like he can take her out in a nice restaurant if she wears a dress and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I do believe that, like, you want to have the masculine role and the feminine role. And I don't want to be the dude in a relationship. And being a, I guess, stronger personality, more masculine energy woman, I'm getting softer dudes who are attracted to me. And it's frustrating. You know, because I want a more masculine guy, but I can't, it doesn't balance out that way.
Yeah. Well, you always talk about how, like, your dreamy, like, crush type of person is like a John Krasinski type. And I don't think of him as, like, a masculine
He's
guy.
Not, like, but he's masculine in the areas that he should be masculine.
Yeah, like, he's got his shit together.
He's
like,
got his shit together.
Professional.
He's determined. Like,
ambitious.
he knows sports. He knows how to, he's, like, he's diverse in his interests. Also, he's totally married to somebody who's super feminine and super talented.
Yeah.
But like just somebody who's got a good work ethic and, like, seems, like, level-headed, you know. And I obviously don't know him, but whatever. The fantasy of
the Jim Halpert.
Yeah, that's fine. That Jim Halpert still had a bit of an ego, but, like, I feel that is the more of, like, the morals and values that he represents is what I'm more geared to being attracted to. Because that's for a sustainable long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of guys that I would be looking, like, I will be like, I obviously want them to be cute in some way. I'm not expecting the guys being jacked and super ripped, also being in the tier of age bracket. I just want them to be mostly, like, taking care of themselves physically. I'm not really into pretty boys. So, I mean, I just said John Krasinski is my crush, so.
I don't think, he's not a pretty boy. He's
not a pretty boy. He's cute. Like, he's got a cute way about him.
He's a handsome guy, but he's not like But Hemsworth.
He's also normal looking.
Yeah, like, if you saw him on the street, you'd be like, that's a handsome man.
Yeah. Like, at work, they were asking me what kind of guy I was attracted to, because there's a shot of a bunch of dudes, and they're all, like, naked and, like, in a steam room. Whatever, it's a shot for work, and I probably can't say, it won't be out yet. But, like, anyways, they're like, which one? And I'm like, oh, the guy on the far right, and the guy who the PA I work with, was all, he's really normal looking. I'm like, yep. I'm not aiming too high. I'm trying to aim in my level.
Yeah, this is my league.
Yeah.
This is my favorite question.
Okay.
Who is a celebrity you think would be in your league if they weren't a celebrity?
God.
I asked this on Facebook one time, and the results that I got were
astounding.
Absurd. This was
I
need to redo that again.
Okay. My league of guys.
Like a celebrity that you can be like, yeah, I could reasonably.
Chubby Chris Pratt.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, goofy.
Yeah.
I would be fine having a goofy guy he's smarter than he seems, but, like, that kind of vibe. Like, I wouldn't expect ripped Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I think you could get ripped. Well, not to sound fucking. I hope this isn't insulting, but even when he was ripped, quote unquote ripped, I didn't think he was that ripped. And I think that you could get a guy that's in shape like that.
I've never got a guy with a 6-pack.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
still in shape. Well, I haven't.
Well, I haven't.
So
your theory is bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, if they have, like, 2 abs, that's great.
If they have 2 abs.
I really am attracted to arms and butts.
Butts?
Those are things that don't go away. Like, arms, like, you have a good arm, bicep, tricep muscle, I like that. Because if you have a good arm, you're most likely to have a good back.
True.
And if you have a good butt, well, that's good. It's just cute.
If you have a good butt, well, that's just good.
Yeah. You want to see a cute butt.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's the best celebrity to choose because I've lost
Chris Pratt.
sense of it.
Chubby Chris Pratt.
Not like fat Chris Pratt. Like
Chris Pratt in
Moneyball
between.
Chris Pratt.
I didn't see Moneyball.
Well, he was built like a baseball player.
Yeah, like Chris Pratt between Guardians of the Galaxy and Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's
That's
reasonable.
not unreasonable.
He's fit, but not like super jacked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I somehow get shorter guys a few years younger than me, guys. Yeah. And shorter guys are guys. I'm 5'8.5", so they're like 5'9", 5'10", which is it's weird, but it's I don't know. I also kind of I'm not used to being around tall people anymore.
Really?
From the Midwest, like my two nephews are around your height, 6'4". My brother's 6'3". My dad's over 6 foot. Most people in the Midwest or outside are just tall,
Yeah.
big dudes, and here they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they can fake it in Hollywood, you know? They can stand
Well,
on a
they're
box.
just about 5'10", my height, or they lie. That's my biggest pet peeve when guys lie about their height.
That's
When
like
they say they're 5'10",
every woman that I've had on this podcast, pet peeves like, don't fucking lie about your height because I'm going to know. I'm going to know. That's what they all say.
I'm going to know. If I'm looking over you,
Yeah.
I'm going to know. If I was 5'6", whatever, that's fine. But
I have to really thank my lucky stars that I got gifted with height. It's such an issue.
well, the level. Okay, so my nephew, one of my nephews, he came to visit when he was 20, and he's normal looking. I mean, also he's my nephew, so it's hard for me to view him as like attractive. Because that'd be weird if I'm like he's so hot, my nephew.
But you can admit that it's like, yeah, I could see that
like,
he's not having trouble.
To me, he's gawky, and like when he was 20, he's 25 now. But and literally we went to like Echo Park Rising or something, and I turned around and somebody was hitting on him right next to me. And then I was somewhere else, and we were at like Troubadour, and then a couple girls were just coming up to him, and I was why? He's wearing cargo shorts, like, and sandals. Like, I just didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
He said nothing to them, and I was just next to him. I don't know. It's always weird. And then it's always weird when I hang out with my guy friends, and then I hear what girls say to you guys. I'm like, I would never say something so forward.
Like what?
I don't know. One time I was at a bar, and this guy is shorter than me, like 5'6", and he was dancing or whatever, and I was in the bar to go get drinks, and some girl came up to me like, I know she's not your girlfriend. And like super aggressive. Also, same dude, we were at a different bar, different night, and it was within a few weeks, and he's just normal looking, whatever. And this girl elbowed me several times and pushed me, and I finally just pushed her back like, no. Like, dance with my friend, I do not care. Like, I don't want to be with him like that.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like, there was like a couple Jennifer Aniston types like dancing around. Like, he was like a really fun dancing guy, and she goes to me, you're lucky, because her friends were holding her back. She was trying to fight me. And I was like, I can never imagine getting that riled up over a dude to dance with.
Yeah.
And she was definitely in her 30s. It was super weird. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I mean, you probably get very aggressive text messages from people, too.
What
Like,
do you
very
mean?
forward or just straight up, like, wanting to
No,
do
nobody.
sexting and all that other stuff.
Well, yeah. I think I kind of like oddly put out that vibe. Like
Oddly?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not judging if you enjoy it, but like it,
No, who
it
doesn't
throws
enjoy
it
getting-
throws it off like the curve of what people would expect, because there's some people who think that they need to talk so sexual to somebody, and then they may not do that in real life, or they just do that. It's just, I don't know. It's just, this is not my game to play. I just can't imagine just saying, like, just being like, I want it to you right now. And, like, all the, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they say. That's the best I can come up with.
That.
But, like, just at a bar, not even drunk. Like, I just couldn't imagine just doing that.
Why not?
I couldn't just say that to somebody. They'd have to be miraculously hot for me to be like, I just need you right now, stranger. And you just go. I can't do that.
So if
I have no game. I fully admit that. But.
Yeah, I mean, almost no women do. Like, it's...
Well, because also, in theory, we're trained
you don't
to
need to have game.
Well, that, and also the hunter. You guys are supposed to do the chasing. Yeah. Also, I don't know. I still, like, if you wanted to ask a guy out, you would do it for, like, a Sadie Hawkins dance or a turnabout or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not very customary that you would be the one to be like, I like you. I want you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, like, when you were talking about the guy with the cargo shorts and people coming up. Like, nobody comes up to me and hits on me. So when I'm hearing that story of, like, that guy getting hit on.
He's super tall. He goes, it happens a lot. I was like... But you're,
really?
Like, normal looking. Like,
your
sorry,
nephew,
that was really
right?
Pitchy. Yeah. I mean, he's got a really cute girlfriend, but, now. But, like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, also, he's my nephew, so I don't view him
Yeah, he's probably, like, the hottest guy in the world or something.
I really doubt that. But I'll show you pictures afterwards. I mean, he's not ugly.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I don't know. My family's very, like, we're average looking, but a little bit on the more attractive side of average.
You're better than average looking.
Well, thank you. But I mean, say my family in totality.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen the rest of your family.
Yeah. Like my sister's kids are more artsy looking. And then my brother's kids are very generic, like suburban looking. Not generic, but like they're very much what you picture Midwestern.
Suburb white people.
Live near cornfields, but cute country.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I hope they're not going to listen to this, so it's fine. They're not ugly. It's just, yeah. My family's, we're good looking, but we're not hot people.
Do you have an definite worst first date story? Where you're like, this is, I've been on terrible dates, but this one is tops.
I think I erased them from my memory. Because once I'm done with some bad experience, I just want to, like,
you're just like, fuck it, I'm done with it.
from my brain.
Yeah.
Those were the most recent bad dates. I mean, about a year and a half ago, I went on a date to meet a guy at a bar, and which is always a good start. It was a Monday night, so there's football. And I thought, okay, whatever. But, like, he was still sitting at the bar and, like, talking to me. And I wasn't dressed up because I was meeting somebody at a sports bar.
Yeah, you were going to a bar.
Yeah. And then he was talking to the guy next to his date. And then he was talking. And I was like, I don't really think I'm into this. But whatever. I have nowhere else to go right now. I sit on dates too long. Like, my dates, even if I'm not into somebody, are still almost 2 to 3 hours. So long. I'm getting better at just being like, just put an hour in.
Yeah.
Tops. Okay? But, okay to you. Like, okay, that was me. Like, okay, Sammy, 1 hour dates, max. And I tried doing that before to somebody, and then I didn't get a second date.
1 hour, I feel like 1 hour is too short. Like, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours tops.
Like movies. A movie.
Nah, movie, you're not getting to know somebody, though. You're just, like, sitting next to them watching something.
Well, not seeing a movie. The length of a movie.
Oh, yeah. The length of a movie. Yeah.
Come on. You know I don't speak full thoughts. You're supposed to catch it. It was math stuff.
I gotta be better at knowing what you're talking about.
It's been a while since we hung out.
I know.
Anyways, this guy, I wasn't into him, and then he walked me to my car. What a gentleman. And then he proceeded to choke me while we were kissing. And I was like,
choke you?
Yeah, I was putting his, and he joked about how he likes choking, and I was like, no. And then he actually was doing that, and I was like, it was a disturbing evening afterwards for me, because I was like, wow, that was just kissing.
Was it going well up until that point? And
I already knew I didn't want to see him, and I really didn't want to kiss him, but I was kind of like, this is the best way to get out of this date. And then there was another date I went on a couple years ago where he was all right. He definitely had older pictures of himself online because his hair was much thinner in person, which I've gone on dates with bald guys before. I'm not anti-hair follicle people, challenge people, but this
I love how often you defend yourself. You're just like, this guy, he was like kind of chubby. I don't hate chubby people.
I don't hate chubby people, but these are people, in theory, when you're dating, even if you do not want kids, you're thinking about procreation levels inherently. And like, whatever. Or I do. I don't know. Obviously, I don't speak for everybody. But yeah, this guy proceeded to tell me how his roommate is psycho and how he makes a lot of money. And then like he kicked his roommate's dog, and like he has a lock.
He
and
kicked
then,
the
yeah,
dog?
like just awful things. And I stayed through that date too. And I just,
Where was that?
Red Lion, it's a tavern, and I had a big Bavarian pretzel. Oh,
I love how vividly you remember all of the meals you've
when it's bad, you just savor the food. Also at Red Lion, there was a guy I went on a date with who kept on being... Okay, so the guy I did end up seeing earlier this year for a few months.
Yeah.
Okay, I had this date with this other dude that I had been talking on and off, then we disconnected, and then we reconnected on a different app. And then it was like, okay, whatever, I guess we
Let's
meant to
try
talk
it
to
again.
Yeah, and so he just talked about this other girl he went on a date with because he was newer to LA, how he's becoming a writer, and he had like full arm tattoos, and he was a lot chubbier in person than he was in his pictures.
Not that I hate chubby. People have a lot of chubby
Yeah,
friends.
whatever. And it was just like he was positive or whatever. And then he kept on talking about how this girl he went on a date with, that he also stays and house sits with her because she was on Shark Tank and like sold this product, and like she's making like millions of dollars. Like he was name dropping, and he was like, I'm blessed, and like people want to help me, and I'm blessed, and I'm trying to write. And then he was going to be filming a short film or something with people the next day, and he kept on texting them and showing me their text. And I was devouring that Bavarian too. But like just having that date, and then the date with the guy I had dated for a few months earlier this year, who was very like, I'm so sorry, I'm on the phone. It was just like, what a difference.
Yeah.
You know, like a gentleman versus a buffoon.
Yeah.
You know? And then, let's see.
I don't know. Whenever I go on a date, I'm always like, I'm very like anal about answering my phone because I think it's super rude when people don't do it in a certain amount of time. When you like, you'll text people and then they don't answer for like 3 days and like, hey, just seeing this. It's like, dude, it's 2019. So if I'm on a date, I'll definitely put my phone on silent because if I feel a vibration or something, I have that
You're
compulsion.
distracted. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, who the fuck could that be? So I just turn it off because I can't have that distraction.
If this is the first time you're meeting somebody and you're like trying to have a successful date, or at least walk away from the date like, oh, I think this person I want to see or get to know again, or I want to, whatever, you know, want a second date.
Yeah.
You've been on those.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the concept.
Yeah. I have to retrain myself. But you want to be present for it.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't be engaged if you're constantly distracted.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
And also notifications trigger our primal instincts of like survival, and it's weird, and that's me talking about my water book. But
I was gonna say this sounds like one of the books you've read.
yeah, it's one of my top-notch tangents to go on to in the dates.
All right. Before we wrap up, I'm going to ask you the couple of questions I ask everybody that comes on this show. These are the last questions that happen. If you had a magic wand and could change one thing about dating, what would it be?
For everybody or just for me?
For you. This is you have a magic wand.
To be not dating and just in a relationship or ever.
I want to find the one immediately.
Yes, I would like to not be having, this is another weird thing. Just encountering people that I would never, ever encounter otherwise from the internet.
You just want the dating part to be done, and you want the relationship.
Have the fights with someone, and enjoy good moments and travel and eat food and, like, chill.
Yeah. I think one time on my Tinder profile, my About Me section was just, can we skip to the part where we're just on a couch and watching The Office already?
Yes.
Like,
I would love to not be doing this and having to overthink my communication style. Am I reading it wrong? Am I acting like it's just,
Did
it's
they get
such
the
a
joke?
mind fuck.
Yeah.
And it's so exhausting. And when I take breaks from dating, it's like, because I want to, with anything that I do, I would like to have a positive approach, and the way I get through to positive, I have to, like, sift through the negative instincts, but I just would like to just be like, what if this is fun? Like, I'm always optimistic, and then when it's not, that's so disappointing.
Yeah.
I just want to meet a grounded, cute guy that is interesting in meaning that he has multiple interests, is multifaceted and talented, where I don't have to lie, or I can actually enjoy doing things. Like, if he likes a movie or genre of movies, like cartoon movies or Marvel, whatever it is, I will be like, okay, I'll watch Star Wars with you, but I'm probably gonna fall asleep, Just want to eat waffles with somebody.
Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
What is one piece of advice that you'd like to give people about dating? Everybody listening.
The one, when you're a professional single, I feel like you lose the ability to give one advice about dating, because it's all a different journey for all of us. And I know I just said journey, but whatever.
Yeah, that was the most LA shit I've ever heard you say.
I'm just saying that, like,
We're
I
on a
don't feel as
journey.
if what I have to say is beneficial to anyone, because my experience has been
But if people
not typical. Like, I don't have a typical dating life. And it's... so I don't really know what I can say. I mean, I can see what happens in someone else's relationship, but I don't know. The best dating advice I can say is trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't continue. Don't force yourself to do something or be with someone longer. And if someone's being really weird or saying weird things, just stop the date. Just go home.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
Yeah, unless you're really hungry, and then
Unless
just
you've
go
got a tasty
home.
Bavarian pretzel in front
Or
of you.
fish tacos.
That turn out to be extremely disappointing.
Well, because it took too long to get them.
Oh, that's a bullshit.
Yeah, it was
I
about
hate
25.
that
It was
shit.
an empty restaurant.
Ugh.
But thank you for this. I still am not going to be on dating apps for another couple years.
Yeah, it's all good. When I first moved here, I was on them for like a month, and then I saw a couple people, and then I had a 6-month just break from it. I
I've
was
swiped
like,
throughout the whole entire city several times. I've definitely hit, like, there's no one else to choose from. And I'm going, Joe says I'm too picky. I'm like, this is a city with multiple options. I'm not living in a city of 100,000 people.
yeah.
That's what makes it crazy to me.
Well, do you ever get paranoid that you are too picky? Because I think that I'm too picky a lot of times.
I know, but then I go, that's called having standards.
Yeah.
And I try to lower them, but I know when I try to higher them, that doesn't work in my favor either. I don't know. This is a theory I have, though. If someone like me is cocooning on a weekend and just hanging out, and they're a good and grounded type of person, that means someone who I'm probably actually attracted to is doing the same thing and not online and not going out. How do I meet that lazy person too? How do I meet that white flag? I'm tired of the red flags. Just give me more white flags.
Just surrender.
Yeah. You want to do this thing together? Just hanging out? Yeah, let's hang out. That's what dating is. It's just hanging out with someone you're exhausted with. That's my new theory.
It's just being exhausted with somebody.
Yeah. And they're like, we're going to do this thing until we're tired. And then we're going to do another thing. Then we're going to be tired. And then we'll get more energy together because we're going to take naps. And then we're going to do more stuff and eat food.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what dating is. So that's my advice. Find somebody you want to be exhausted with.
That's a good piece of advice, Sammy. Mm-hmm. You got Instagram you want to plug or website or anything?
Ola Sam Sam. And that will lead you to my Wix account that is not updated.
Ola Sam Sam. Is it just SAM SAM?
Yeah, Sam Sam.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, Sammy, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Joe Welke, and thank you, Dating is Hard listeners.
There you have it, everybody. That was my chat with Sami Sutker. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Ola Sam Sam. If you want to know more about this show, www.datingishardcomedy.com. Follow the Instagram at datingishardcomedy. Follow me on Instagram at Joe Welke. Check out the live show. It's every fourth Wednesday at Pack Theater at 9:30. It's by donation theater, so if you got extra money, throw it the theater's way. If you don't, just still come and enjoy the show. If you would do me a favor, please, tell your friends about the show if you're enjoying it. Give it a 5-star review on Apple. Share it, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps make podcasts super successful and huge and bigger than they are and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. And, yeah, until next time, later.